Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai,
Makar, Kodash, all double honors to the apostles and elders, GMS who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners, which is the truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. We just celebrated Passover, March 1st, sundown, 2018. Glad, we went through it, but still there's a purging that keeps happening afterwards. We're in the spirit of trying to make sure that, we're not purged out. We're in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, one of the holy days, amongst one of the 7 holy days, the most high commanded for Israel to keep throughout all our generations. And now this is a time when niggas come up with the strangest, weirdest doctrines that you can think of. A nigga will just go in the laboratory and give me this scripture, give me that scripture, and give me this. Okay, I got it. We're gonna come up with something new. Right. Come up with something completely new. Right? Because that's what scripture is. This is basically wine. And niggas come with all different types. You can make all types of wine with this. So niggas come up with the most, craziest, bugged out, doctrine that you can think of. You've had the flat earth doctrine. You've had the tribe of Dan. What was it? They were the elect or whatever.
Tribe of Dan was going to be elect.
2/3 or something, whatever. 2/3, they were the 1/3 or the
200 million troops.
We had there's going to be a remnant of Edom being saved.
That
part of Edom being saved.
You've had quite the Passover is a feast.
No, the Day of Atonement was.
Oh yeah, Day of Atonement. I don't know if that was on the Passover, but it still kind of extends. But you've had all types of funny, wacky doctrine. That this is just counting the doctrine that comes from GMS or former GMS members alone. I didn't hear that. This is Galatians chapter 1, verse 6.
Hold on, still on. It's good.
All right, this is Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. And it reads, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into grace of Yahushai unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Hamashiach. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel meaning good news, unto you, then that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. So coming with these new, strange, weird doctrines out of left field that make everybody scratch their heads. The Most High, Paul said, even if we do it, he said, or an angel, that just goes to show you how much less than, a nigga that just came up like 1 year in the truth, and now he want to tell the apostles and tell all Israel, oh, this is what this is. We got to do this. We heard so many doctrines. The Vatican is Babylon. America is not Babylon. It seems like every 2 or 3 years you get that weed smoking doctrine pops back up and says, oh, where it say you can't smoke weed at in the Bible? How Yahushua and the disciples wasn't, puff pass, during the past. So, you got all types of niggas that will try anything they can to justify their wickedness. Can you get my people ready for life now? Hosea 4 and 6.
It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and point is in 3. It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears.
Right, so that time, this is a prophecy. The time will come That time is here. You know, they're not enduring sound doctrine. You know, this the way to understand this Bible it's very practical. The Bible tells you how to read and understand it. Are you holding anything else? Can you get Hosea 12:8? Because the Bible tells you how to read it. You know, you don't go to no seminary school to understand it. You know, this is not, you know, rocket science. But to other people without this truth, it's very difficult. Matter of fact, it is. Wait for us to get this. Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, 12, wait, actually I got it. It's 12 and 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophet and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So the Most High is saying that he used similitudes. So you have to understand that the scripture uses similitudes. You know, so this is what you got to understand the scriptures. Understand what sound doctrine is. Because if you don't understand this if you don't understand these basic concepts, you're not going to understand sound doctrine. You know, anybody going to come to you, vocab Malone, Jesus is the word, anybody can come to you with these new and different doctrines. They're like, oh yeah, anything that they can come with that will, you know, basically will allow them to, their conscience to rest in peace with hearing this truth and saying, oh, I want to believe in something different, but this truth is hard to deny, so I'm going to go to somebody that's even better at mangling the scriptures. You know, Deuteronomy 28:68, that's talking about ancient Egypt. That's not talking about America. You know, when it says flee into the mountains, that's talking about the Caucasus Mountains, brother. What are you talking about? What are you talking about the mountains in Africa? You know, it'll be anything to come up with, you know, the most different doctrine that you can come up with.
It's Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children.
So he said you're going to forget your children, but he also gives a reason why you're going to forget your children. Because basically you you rejected knowledge, the knowledge of these scriptures. So every consequence, every action has its consequence. You know, Most High says over here, you forget the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding, he going to forget you. You know, and your children are going to suffer for it. You know, and you got niggas in the world that forget the knowledge, and you got niggas in the world that they're still in the world. They stumbled upon the truth. You know, they're that seed that fell in the stony grounds. You know, they got choked up. You know, and then they don't endure. You know, through the truth and the gospel, and then they come up with something completely different. You know, so you're gonna be destroyed by lack of knowledge just because you understand your house shot. You're still gonna be destroyed because you're not putting on a whole full armor. You know, and if you don't put on the whole full armor, you're not gonna be protected. Because if you're in war and you got a helmet on, somebody's gonna attack you. What are they gonna do? They're gonna go for your loins. They're gonna go for your legs, or whatever. And let's say you got chest armor on. If they see you don't got a helmet on, what they're gonna go for your head. So you gotta put on the complete full armor. You know, and part of it being armed is understanding the name, understanding the full doctrine. You know, being steadfast in the scriptures and enduring. And making sure that you stand firm in this word.
This is Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little.
And those that are weaned, we'll say weaned from the milk, drawn from the breast. Those that when you come in, you're a babe in this thing. So a baby doesn't understand anything, but it observes and it soaks up everything. So that's how you're supposed to understand and read something. You don't understand, oh yeah, I learned this. Forget everything you fucking learn. Everything you learn, you just throw that shit in the trash. And it's hard to do with, old wine bottles. The scripture calls, older men, you know, that's stuck in their ways, you know, you can't tell them nothing because Most High perfects this knowledge through, you know, young men, you know, and he's teaching it, you know, sometimes teaching the elder men. But if you want to understand this thing, you got to put all in everything, you know, and you got to, you know, start with the milk. And then you go to the meat. Just because you 2 or 3 years in this truth don't mean you elevate on this high level like, oh, the Most High can't elevate you, and, you know, in 1 year. The Most High can do all you want, but the Most High also is not, there's an order to things. Most High is not going to just, you know, bring some Johnny-come-new nigga that's teaching a flat earth shit and then come with teaching all these other weird doctrines and things. He misses like 5, he goes 60 for 60 missing, 0 for 60 missing, and then he come with this one doctrine and everybody supposed to accept it. No, it don't work like that. You know, Most High makes sure that, you know, his men are, you know, his bishop supposed to be blameless, you know, have good reputation before they come up with these weird false breakdowns, you know. So the Most High is not with, you know, with just bringing somebody up, you know, and just raising them up in like 1 day, 1 week or whatever, and then all of a sudden he put all this truth and just smash it in them. You know, you got some of the prophets that didn't even understand, you know, some simple basic scriptures, you know. Still have something? Yeah, that's good.
This is John. Can I start the first?
Yeah.
This is John 3:1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from Yahweh, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except Yahweh be with him. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High.
All right, you got to be born again. You know what that?
Yeah, because hey, why do you think the scriptures say you got to basically convert into a little child, man? Because a little child it's open to learning new things, man. And through repetition, a child learns how to grow. Okay, learning how to use the bathroom correctly. Okay, through that milk. Okay, that through the milk of the scriptures. And guess what? A lot of times they just drink milk for a while, man. Brother, you know, it's supposed to be breastfed, but that's how we are when we first wake up to this thing, man. You know, we get the first 1s and 2s, your go-to scriptures, man. You know, and we grow from that. We pray to the Lord that we grow in this thing, man.
Can I say something real quick to bring out how spiritual it is? Because when a baby is born, all the essential vitamins and nutrients that a child needs comes from the breast milk. But if that child, but in this world, a lot of mothers don't give their child that breast milk. They give them that GMO synthetic shit. And it winds up disrupting the child's cognitive memory, cognitive abilities, and it just fucks up the child in general. But you know, when you actually feed the child the actual nutrients, they can grow up properly. It has a better chance of growing up upright, if you will.
And also, you know, a child, you know, his learning curve is the greatest when he's young, you know. But once you get older, that curve kind of like flatlines, you know, because that's why it says, you know, it's easiest to learn a new language when you're young. You know, when you get older, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's just like even in boxing. You know, if you try to box at like 20, that's considered to be old. They want you to start boxing when you like, you know, sometimes 11, 12, you know, to be able to develop good habits, you know, because it's hard to break bad habits when you're older. Yeah. It's a lot easier to get rid of bad habits, you know, when you're younger. You know, if you got somebody to discipline you, you know, like a dog, you know, try to teach an old dog that's never learned how to sit, or, you know, how to shake his paws, stuff like that. You know, you in for the time of your life. You know, you got to do that when they're younger. You know, got something in between.
This is
child.
I don't know exactly where it's at. I know it's This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thy own age.
Right, you want to establish a foundation first before you come up, because the scripture, can you get 1 John 5, 12, I think it's 1 John 2 and 15 actually. Because you want to get the foundation first before you start branching off. You know, and starting with the foundation, you got to understand the 12 tribes chart that's right here, which is not on camera, who they are, who the nation of Israel consists of, who the Most High, sent his son for, who the son told the apostles to go and teach. You gotta. It's a foundation in which you gotta understand. Let me take a peek back and show you right here. That's it. 2 and 15. 2 and 17. First, try 5. First down 5. But once you start, learning the foundation of the scriptures, then you can build upon what you know. Might be 5 and 13, 12. Matter of fact, I'll find it. You got something? I know it's something. Can you get the Timothy and I'll look for that? Okay, I still got that. Matthew. Okay. Get it after.
1 Timothy was it 4:6?
1 Timothy 4.
1 Timothy 4 and 4 says, for every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refuted, if it be received with thanksgiving.
Matter of fact,
for it is sanctified by the word of the Most High in prayer.
Matter of fact, stop.
Okay. 1 Timothy, the book of 1 Timothy 4 and 1 says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith.
So some shall depart.